Are you working a job and you really don't have a whole lot of money to spread around for you to get started in your business? Well, today we're going to be talking about what to do and 3 quick tips that you can use to help start your business even if you don't have a lot of money. We're going to be talking about it coming up next. What is up, guys? It's Diana here with Entree Women TV, helping transition your passion into the business that you love so you can start the side hustle that you want. And today we're going to be talking about how to actually do that with little to no money. Now, at some point you are going to need some money to get started in your business, but today we're going to be talking about 3 tips to really just help you maximize the little bit of income that you may have coming in so that you can start your side hustle today. So one of the many challenges when you're first deciding that you want to actually have your own business is that you're working a full-time job and you really want to do this, and you may not have a lot of time and you may not have a lot of money. Well, we'll address another video later on in the week about what to do if you don't have a lot of time. Today we're talking about little money. When you're first getting started in the business, you really want to cover a couple of different things. I'm only going to cover 3 tips today, but we'll continue this conversation moving forward over the next couple weeks. And be sure to stick around until the end. I'm going to be giving away a few extra resources to help you maximize your income and help stack some of the savings so that you can start your business. Okay, so one of the first tips that I always like to cover and talk about when you don't have a lot of money and you're trying to start a side hustle is that you want to plug the drain. What that means is that somewhere within the income that you have some things that you may buy on the regular, that you purchase, or just some regular vices that we all have. A lot of people like to bring up smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, going out partying, clubbing, or whatever. Now, those definitely qualify, but at the same time, you aren't necessarily going to break some of those habits as easy as it would as some of the other ones. So some of the other challenges that you may have, or some of the things you may be spending money on: fast food. I know that was one of my big vices, was fast food, and it's not because it tastes so great, but because it is just convenient. It's convenient if you're busy, it's convenient if you don't have a lot of time, so maybe that may be the thing for you. I have a friend where her thing is Starbucks, and she loves her Starbucks lattes, and that is an expense. It may be $6 to $7 if you're getting that 2 or even 3 times a day, and you extrapolate that out 2 or 3 times a week or more. You're definitely having some income that's just falling through the cracks that you're not really paying attention to. So the first thing that you want to do is figure out with the money that you currently have. I don't care how much you get paid per month or how much you get paid per week or hour. Look at the dollars that you currently have and just pull the statement. Go back 30 days, print a statement, and see what are some of the food transactions that you may have had. What are some of the common places that you visit? I'm not telling you don't enjoy some of the things that you want, but if you're really serious about getting your side hustle started, then you have to plug the drain. So go through some of your transactions, see what are you buying consistently and on the regular that may bring you back an extra $200 as quick as in the next 2 weeks. So the second quick tip is some job hacks. One of the quick job hacks is that when I first got started in my business, or when I wanted to get started starting up a business a few years ago, I was not making hardly any money at the job that I was at that time. I maybe made $25,000 for the year. Now, that is not a lot of money to spread around, and it is just not a comfortable place to be in, period. But you're so filled with passion and you have so much that you want to do, you have to find a way. So it doesn't matter how much that you get paid, you could do this particular job hack they're going to be talking about. So this particular job hack is that you want to take and really look at what is it that you're getting paid per hour or whatever the frequency is. But let's say you get paid as low as maybe $10 an hour. And I want to say that low like it's low, but compared to the expenses it's not as high as it could be either. Okay, right? So let's say you're getting paid about $10 an hour. So normally your regular paychecks, maybe working 40 hours a week, it's not going to be that much. Well, we are in the holiday season, and holidays do tend to come around every year. So there are different times of the year when you have access to getting more income than other times. Do you have a busy season of the year that you can hack and maybe pick up some extra hours? Now, before you hit that thumbs down button on the video, or you get upset and just say, I'm already working X, Y, and Z hours, let's really think about this and let's plan it out. The difference between working overtime, getting double time and a half income, or just, time and a half income, is that most of the time it may not be planned out strategically. When you plan out the income strategically and the hours that you're going to work, when you're going to work it, at the times that are best opportune, so that you aren't frustrated, that you aren't completely exhausted. It's going to make a complete difference than if you're just picking up hours continuously and never really seeing an end date. So this particular job hack is that you want to look at the time of the year that you're in. Right now it's the holiday seasons, and most companies are fairly busy and they're looking for extra people. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and get a second job, because you can job hack your first job and make sure that you get enough income to kind of build up some money so that you can start your side hustle. So let's say you get paid $10 an hour. On a regular basis, it's just $10 an hour. But if you're able to pick up some overtime, maybe that'll be time and a half, or 1.5. So you want to take the $10 an hour times 1.5, and that'll give you $15 an hour. So how many times or how many hours can you work at $15 an hour? And I'm not saying do a whole bunch of time, but I'm saying adding that in addition to your regular income that you're making. Is it 2 or 5 hours per week that you may be able to pick up? Let's talk about the holidays. Holidays, there are some companies that offer double time or double time and a half. So it may just be 2.0 or 2.5. So if you're at one of the companies where they offer what's called double time and a half, now that $10 per hour becomes $25 per hour. So already, without working a second job, how many times can you work in a pay period or in a week comfortably? And make sure you want to check with your health professional and make sure that you are physically fit to pick up some extra hours. It's not going to stretch you out, run your blood pressure up, and all that extra other stuff. So be careful with that. But if you can make $25 an hour, if you're still doing that 2 to 4 or maybe 5 hours per holiday, maybe you're working the weekend before Christmas, or you're working the day before Christmas or the day after, or whatever, can you get some extra time to where you just hunger down and really double down and take 6 hours out the day, getting paid at $25 per hour? So think about that. Really look at your schedule, see what times are available, and just over the course of time, give yourself some breaks in between. Are there some times maybe coming in the morning that you can kind of job hack versus trying to pick up hours at the end of your shifts or at the end of the day or end of the week? Get in that extra time at the beginning of the week. I'm telling you, it'll blow by and you won't even realize it, and you won't have to do it for very long. Tip number 3 is opening up your cash flow. So cash flow, of course, is how much money that you have left by the time you're done paying your bills. For most people, it seems like, or just the average American, it kind of feels like they're working every week just to give all their money away and barely have anything to enjoy themselves off of. So when it is something that you want to enjoy, you kind of tend to go into levels of excess. It's okay. We'll talk about that in a different video and just kind of how to deal with some of those challenges. But in this video, we're talking about starting with low income, trying to get some more money, right? So you can start the side hustle. So if you don't have a lot of money, you gotta open up the cash flow so that per month, per pay cycle, you really have more money available. So if you are only having, let's say, from one pay period until the next pay period, about $100 to $200, you gotta figure out what is it that you have with your current bills, with your current income, that's not opening up cash flow. And I'm not giving you any kind of financial advice as far as what to do with your checks or anything like that. This isn't legal advice or any of that good stuff, right? But here's the thing. When you have, a car loan or anything like that, can you refinance your car loan and maybe get a lower interest rate, or maybe have it reconsidered? What kind of credit cards do you have? What's that monthly interest rate? As well as late fees. Late fees is a good way to give money away. Even tickets sometimes. Be careful with those. That's a good way to just give away money. So what ways are you giving away money? Whether it's credit card payments or whether it's loans or anything else that you have that's holding down the cash flow. Even if it's student loans. Sometimes you have to make that uncomfortable phone call the phone company, call the electricity bill company, and maybe cut back. We talked about in tip number 1, whereas the excesses and plugging the drains, maybe it's the cable that you need to let go for a little while. Starting a business, starting a side hustle, it's not going to be easy in the beginning, especially when you don't have the income to really support what you're trying to do. You have to make some uncomfortable decisions for a time. So is it cutting back on the $50 to $80 phone bill? Is it cutting back, if it's that low, right? Or maybe it's cutting back on the $50 to $80, even like $100 or $120 that I've heard for a cable bill. Most people have cut the cords right now. They've gone to Netflix. Even YouTube TV is available so that you can still enjoy yourself, get the things that you want, but just do it on a budget. So again, you got to really go through and see where the money is going and where it's going out so that you can figure out how can I get it back in. So when you're looking at your cash flow to get more available per pay period, make some calls, see what kind of arrangements can be made, even with your insurance companies. I'll give you a quick tip at the end. So no, let's do it right now. So when you are actually dealing with any kind of phone company, and I know this because I worked in credit customer service for a specific company, and I work within other type of financial services industries for, I don't know, maybe over a decade now. So when you call, you want to speak to the customer retention department. Most people will tell you, call and complain, yell and scream, and you'll get your way. That does not work. What you want to do is you want to speak to the customer retention department. Most of the time in your regular mailers and circulars, what you'll get is an ad for AT&T, and you may get something else for Charter Internet or whatever. You're going to get a comparable price, or maybe your price went up after a trial period or something like that. What you want to do is get a comparable price for what is available currently. Speaking to the customer retention department, they are the ones that can make the decisions to help you get a lower bill each month. So you want to let them know, hey, I received an ad for X, Y, and Z company, and I'm considering switching because it's cheaper. What options are available that I can stick with you guys and maybe get a comparable price? I really don't want to leave, but if I have to get the better pricing, then that's what I'm going to have to do. I can't afford this bill, because obviously you can't. So figure out what it is that you can do. And you can do this for every one of your bills. I'm telling you, because when I was at that place in my life, that is what I had to do. I had to call these companies, figure out what is available to me. What options do you have? What discounts are available that maybe you don't even know about? Quick tip. Most of you guys are working for major corporations, and your corporate jobs, you have to speak with the HR department just to double check. But most of your jobs may offer a discount for the major cell phone companies like T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, or what have you. They'll offer discounts on rental car services and all kinds of stuff. So check with your HR departments and see what kind of discounts are available. Even if it's only 10 or 15%, take it. So I told you I was going to give you some bonus tips. So I already kind of squeezed one in, but here are two quick bonus tips. In order to get to a different place in your life, you have to have better information. So one of the quick tips that I want to share with you is something that has been phenomenal in helping me get from making no money to, let's just say, more money. But one of the things that I absolutely love is this particular book, as well as the other book, Smart Women Finish Rich. This is by the gentleman named David Bach, and this book is called Start Late, Finish Rich. In this particular book, he talks about if you are maybe at an older age, he specifically wrote it for those that are getting close to retirement, as well as those that are maybe in the latter half of their working years and they didn't save any money and they're like, oh crap, what do I do? Well, that's even better for us if you're a little bit younger, even in your 20s or your 30s, or even earlier late 40s, because he's giving shortcuts on systems. He's a financial planner. He's giving shortcuts to systems that you can use and implement today. So even though this process is going to take some time, as he talks about some of the different things, goes a little bit more in depth on how to go through the process, really taking those statements, figuring out where the trash money is that you're just throwing away every single week, some investment strategies, whether that's involved in real estate, picking up properties, and other ideas and tips. So again, I definitely encourage you to check out this book. I'll link it up down below, as well as anything else that I'm talking about in the video. So that is bonus tip number one. Bonus tip number two. So I did a podcast last year that I talked about how to start a business while you're in debt. So even if you're able to open up more cash flow, get access to more income, most of the time you still have bills that just absolutely have to be paid, and money that just has to be accounted for when you are starting your business or just working on a regular everyday job. And this particular podcast episode, which is episode number 37, how to start a business while in debt, it goes over some even more in-depth tips. I explain things more than what I've done so far in this particular video, just to kind of help you give some more strategies and tips on how to deal with the debt side of the monies that you're dealing with when it comes to your job, your income, and wanting to start your side hustle. So I'll link that down below, or you can go to thesmallbusinessstartup.com/show037. Question of the day. What is the first thing that you're going to do after you watch this video? So, of course, nothing works unless you take action on it. So let me know, what's the first thing that you're going to do when you're done taking this video, watching this video? Are you going to go and call some companies, get some discounts on some current bills, or are you going to pull those statements and be like, yeah, I got to see where my money is? So let me know down in the comments down below. But thanks for checking out today's video. Definitely consider subscribing for more tips like this. We do small business as well as personal development tips, as well as video marketing tips and strategies, and as well as some financial tips like we talked about today in this video. So if that's something up your alley, definitely consider subscribing and join the Entre Woman TV community. But as always, my friends, live with passion, and I will see you guys on the next video.